Beware the comfy embrace of the Busby Stoop Chair. This isn't just any antique pub furnishing. It's a piece of North Yorkshire's chilling history, rumored to carry a deadly curse from a hanged murderer. Legend has it that Thomas Busby, in his final moments in 1702, swore that anyone daring to sit in his favorite chair would meet an untimely end. Decades of strange accidents and sudden demises have cemented its eerie reputation. Today, this infamous oak chair hangs suspended in a museum, a silent, stark warning daring you to wonder, is it truly cursed or just an exceptionally unlucky seat? Find out more about the cursed chair in this video. Thomas Busby, along with his father-in-law Daniel Oddie, ran a small criminal empire between them, whose main operation was coining, that is the forging of currency. They were based in the small North Yorkshire village of Kirby Wiske, and it's said that they had disagreed over Busby's relationship with Oddie's daughter Elizabeth. There was increasing bad blood between Thomas and Daniel until one day in 1702, a drunken Busby returned to his pub to find his goading father-in-law sitting in his favorite chair and threatened to take his wife back home. Thomas ejected Daniel from both the chair and the pub, and later that night crept into the counterfeiter's home and bludgeoned him to death with a hammer. Thomas Busby was found guilty of murder and forgery, and he was subsequently arrested, convicted, and sentenced to death by hanging for the murder of his father-in-law. Legend has it that in his final moments, either while being taken to his execution or as his last request for a final drink at his favorite chair at the inn, Busby cursed the chair, proclaiming that anyone who dared to sit in it would meet a sudden and violent death. After his execution, his corpse was suspended in chains from a gibbet erected at the lonely crossroads at the San Hutton Crossroads. This notorious criminal and his execution were long remembered. Following his execution, the inn where Busby frequented was eventually named the Busby Stoop Inn, stoop referring to the post from which his body was hung as a warning. Over the years, a grim reputation began to build around a particular chair in the pub, believed to be the very one Busby had cursed. Locals whispered tales of misfortune and death befalling those who sat upon it. One of the earliest documented incidents allegedly linked to the chair occurred in 1894 when a chimney sweep sat on it during a drinking session and was found dead the next morning, hanging near Busby's gibbet. During the Second World War, Canadian airmen stationed nearby would dare each other to sit in the chair, and the local lore claimed that those who did never returned from their bombing missions. In 1968, two airmen dared each other to sit in the chair. They both did. Returning to the airfield, their car left the road and crashed into a tree. They both died on the way to the hospital. In the 1970s, the chair's sinister reputation intensified with a string of accidents and deaths associated with those who had sat on it, including a cleaning lady who was diagnosed with a brain tumor after knocking into the chair. Several cyclists and motorists who sat in the chair suffered fatal road accidents. A hitchhiker was run over after having spent 2 nights at the pub, and a local man who died of heart attack shortly after sitting in the condemned chair. Some accounts claim that the deaths were accidental, while others suggest more sinister circumstances. The chair's reputation grew, and it became a notorious object of fear and fascination. Sources estimate the body count of the chair to be around 60. A group of builders having a drink in the pub cajoled the youngest of their group into sitting on the chair. Back at the site, the man fell through the roof of the building and landed on the concrete ground below. This death proved to be the final straw, and faced with mounting evidence and concerns for the safety of his patrons, the landlord of the Busby Stoop Inn eventually removed the chair from public access in 1978. To prevent any further incidents, the cursed chair was donated to the Thirsk Museum, where it remains to this day. However, it is not displayed in a conventional manner. Instead, the Busby's chair is suspended high up on a wall, ensuring that no one can ever sit on it again and potentially fall victim to its alleged deadly curse. There are so many questions that have been left unanswered and are probably unanswerable. Did Busby really commit murder over a chair? Could any person truly hold such deep affection for a carved piece of wood? Is Busby's revengeful and jealous spirit still attacking anyone who dares to sit in his seat? Or was the murder over something far more important, something which we will never know about? Is the chair really haunted, or was it a money-making gimmick? Is the chair just really an extremely unlucky piece of furniture? Is this chair really the same chair that Busby fought over? Interestingly, a furniture historian who examined the chair dated it to around 1840, over a century after Busby's execution, based on its machine-turned spindles, a technique not common in the early 18th century. This raises questions about the chair's true origins and whether the curse is tied to the specific piece of furniture or if the legend evolved over time. Regardless of its authenticity, the story of Busby's cursed chair continues to fascinate and serves as a macabre reminder of vengeful spirits and the power of belief. The pub is no longer named the Busby Stoop, nor is it a pub anymore. The earlier pub has been turned into an Indian restaurant called the Jaipur Spice. Thank you for watching the video. If you found the video interesting, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to shounvolution for more such content.